There are moments in the vibrant theater of European royalty when the air itself seems to pause, breathless with awe, and all eyes pivot to one singular, radiant figure. This time, that figure is none other than Queen Letizia of Spain, a woman whose every graceful step sends ripples through the very fabric of international fashion, diplomacy, and the deep-rooted traditions of monarchy. As she emerged into the warm Spanish light for a recent royal engagement, clad in an exquisitely tailored Adolfo Dominguez dress adorned with striking statement smocking, it felt less like a mere appearance and more like a deliberate, powerful chapter being written into the modern history of the Spanish crown. From the way the crowd's collective gasp seemed to swell and then hush into a reverent silence, it was unmistakable that this was more than simply a queen attending a formal function. This was a sovereign making a statement so profound, yet cloaked in the delicate artistry of fabric and silhouette, that it demanded the kind of contemplation usually reserved for grand speeches or seismic political shifts. Observers stood transfixed, not only by the delicate yet daring lines of the Adolfo Dominguez creation but by the aura of confidence that Queen Letizia carried like a mantle woven of sheer resolve and centuries-old legacy. The dress itself, a marvel of design genius, embraced her figure with an effortless grace that belied the meticulous thought woven into every stitch. The smocking detail across the bodice, bold yet refined, was no trivial decorative choice. In the intricate gathering of fabric lay a subtle metaphor for unity, resilience, and the pulling together of many threads to create a singular, unbreakable strength, a message that could not be more timely for Spain or its monarchy. Those who watched closely might have caught the quiet shimmer of delight in Queen Letizia's eyes, the soft curve of a smile that hinted at private victories won far from the flash of cameras. Here was a woman who, despite relentless scrutiny and the heavy burden of representing an institution that stretches back through turbulent eras of Spanish history, has mastered the elusive art of marrying regal dignity with approachable humanity. Every small gesture, whether it was the gentle wave of her hand, the attentive nod as she greeted local officials, or the way she paused to listen intently to a small child clutching a homemade Spanish flag, told a story of a queen acutely aware of her symbolic role yet profoundly grounded in the everyday hopes and struggles of her people. As photographers clamored for the perfect angle, the sun caught the subtle texture of the smocking, casting intricate shadows that danced across the deep yet soft fabric. Fashion critics around the globe were quick to draw their pens and digital voices, analyzing the choice of a domestic designer like Adolfo Dominguez as not merely a sartorial preference but a deliberate embrace of Spanish craftsmanship at a time when local industries crave royal endorsement. Indeed, Letizia's decision sent an electrifying message through Spain's creative sectors. The Queen stands with you, champions your artistry, and carries your vision onto the world stage draped over her regal shoulders. But this was far more than a fashion showcase. In the charged atmosphere of that engagement, where dignitaries mingled with ordinary citizens and local business owners, the Queen's appearance resonated with an almost theatrical poignancy. Spain, after all, finds itself navigating complex undercurrents, economic challenges that tug at the national spirit, evolving debates over the monarchy's place in a modern democracy, and the ever-present need to assert cultural pride in a rapidly globalizing world. Queen Letizia's choice to wear a statement piece crafted by a beloved Spanish designer was thus layered with intricate significance. It was a diplomatic act, a cultural salute, and a subtle yet profound reaffirmation of Spain's identity, all executed in the delicate language of style. Eyewitnesses later recounted how the Queen moved through the venue with a measured elegance, pausing to exchange warm words with elderly veterans, young entrepreneurs, and wide-eyed children who may one day tell their grandchildren they once stood inches from Spain's queen. There was an almost cinematic quality to the scene, sunlight filtering through trees, laughter blending with solemn conversations, and at the center of it all, Queen Letizia in her smock dress, embodying a living bridge between Spain's storied past and its unfolding future. One cannot overlook the undercurrents of personal evolution that accompany every public outing of Queen Letizia. Here stands a woman who, long before the world bowed to her as queen, navigated the charged landscapes of media scrutiny as a respected journalist. Her keen understanding of narrative, symbolism, and public perception has no doubt become one of her greatest assets as a royal. It is perhaps why every fabric she dons, every silhouette she embraces, seems to resonate with deeper layers of meaning. The Adolfo Dominguez dress, with its bold smocking and fluid lines, was not chosen by accident. It projected strength tempered by grace, modernity anchored by respect for tradition, qualities that mirror Letizia's own path from news anchor to monarch. As the day unfolded, cameras captured candid moments of the Queen engaging in quiet, earnest conversations. At one point, she was seen leaning in close to an elderly woman who clutched her hand and spoke with tears in her eyes. Though no microphones captured the exchange, the Queen's gentle nods and tender squeeze of the woman's hand told a story of compassion that transcended words. Later, Letizia was photographed crouching to speak at eye level with a little boy who nervously presented her with a hand-drawn portrait of the Spanish royal family. The boy's shy smile blossomed into beaming pride as the Queen praised his artwork, her laughter ringing out in a moment of shared humanity that no protocol could script. Throughout this engagement, the crowd seemed to pulse with a collective heartbeat of admiration, curiosity, and, for many, genuine affection. Queen Letizia has become a figure onto whom millions project their hopes for a monarchy that is not frozen in the gilded frames of the past but vibrant, relatable, and tirelessly committed to the well-being of the nation. The simple yet sophisticated lines of the Adolfo Dominguez dress allowed her to move with unencumbered confidence, to embrace citizens with open arms, and to stand as an unspoken yet unmistakable testament to the idea that strength does not always roar, sometimes it whispers through the gentle rustle of fabric as a queen walks by. Royal commentators across Europe wasted no time drawing comparisons to other reigning queens and princesses, analyzing how Letizia's style choices differ fundamentally in intent and impact. Unlike some royals who favor overt opulence, Letizia often opts for subtle storytelling through her attire, choosing pieces that amplify local talent, honor Spain's rich textile traditions, and whisper rather than shout of luxury. This approach has endeared her to many who see in her not a distant monarch cloaked in unreachable splendor but a modern sovereign who uses the soft power of fashion to build bridges, spark conversations, and quietly champion national pride. Behind the dazzling cameras and curated social media posts lies a woman who must daily navigate the tightrope between public expectation and private authenticity. Friends of the Queen have occasionally confided to discreet biographers that Letizia's days are filled with a relentless series of briefings, charitable commitments, and moments of profound solitude in which the weight of her role undoubtedly presses hard against her own humanity. Perhaps it is in these quieter hours that she dreams up the very choices that stun the world, like that unforgettable Adolfo Dominguez dress with its powerful smocking that seemed to breathe new life into royal tradition. By evening, as the engagement drew to a close and the sun slipped into a dusky embrace of the horizon, Queen Letizia stood for a moment on the steps of the venue, turning back to offer one last wave. Cameras clicked furiously, eager to seize that final iconic frame. The Queen, bathed in golden light, her dress catching the breeze as though it too longed to linger in this perfect, fleeting moment. And in that instant, it was as if all of Spain stood still, united by the delicate yet unyielding threads of history, culture, and a shared belief in tomorrow. Dear viewer, as you let this remarkable story settle in your heart, consider the profound impact of a simple dress, how it can weave together artistry, national identity, personal journey, and the very soul of a people. Could it be that in these quiet sartorial choices, we witness not just the evolution of a queen, but the delicate shaping of an entire nation's future? If you found this deep dive into Queen Letizia's powerful moment as captivating as we did, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with fellow royal watchers, and drop a comment below telling us what you think this stunning appearance says about the future of Spain's monarchy. We can't wait to hear your thoughts.